Okay, well, looks like it's time to get started. So welcome to today's webinar. Today's webinar is called How to Dominate Your Industry. It's about the 10 steps that world-class manufacturing companies take day in and day out to consistently meet their on-time delivery and quality demands. If a company can deliver quality products on time every time, their customers will be happy and their businesses will continue to grow. Stay with me here for a few minutes and I'll show you what it takes to ensure your customers are happy by meeting your on-time delivery and quality goals. So before we get too deep into the content here, I think it's important to understand the benefits of what we'll be discussing today. If you have a continuous improvement culture or you're trying to get there, the benefits are numerous. One recent company I worked with is able to increase their on-time delivery from 46% to 98%. So that means their past due dollars were dramatically reduced too. Additional benefits were that they made drastic improvements on their customer returns. Another company I helped was able to eliminate $35,000 per month in outsourced work, and that helped them to reduce $150,000 in excess inventory. So we talked about on-time delivery and quality, which are the top two customer retention goals you should have. You can be making huge margins and you can be making a lot of product, but if your customers are not getting their products when they need them, then they're going to be unhappy. If you have too many unhappy customers for too long, that means it's going to be costing you some big money and you may even lose good customers. So we can get all that money back for you. But first let's figure out what your late deliveries are actually costing you. So here's a little formula. You know what your monthly sales are, and you probably know what your on-time delivery percentage is. So if you do the math, monthly sales times your on-time percentage, it gives you your monthly revenue. So let's take a little example of, say your monthly sales were $2 million and say your on-time percentage was like 75%. So you just do the math there. $2 million times 75% equals $1.5 million each month. So that means if you do the next math is subtract your monthly revenue from your monthly sales, and that tells you how much your late deliveries are costing you. So if you have $2 million in monthly sales and if you have $1.5 million in monthly revenue, that means late deliveries, not getting them out at the end of the month, is costing you $500,000. But again, don't worry, we can get that all back. Okay, so today we're going to talk about 10 steps to success. I promised you I would outline the 10 steps, so here they are. These are the things that you need to employ every day in your business in order to reach world-class status and in order to make sure your customers are happy and the dollars roll in just like they should to reach your growth targets. They are strategy deployment, 5S, 8 wastes, KPIs, a daily gimbal walk, theory of constraints, problem solving, non-value versus value, the visual workplace, and process and flow mapping. These 10 steps, once implemented, will help you achieve all your monthly goals and your growth potentials for years to come. So the reason that having a good strategy deployment in place is important because it helps you focus on the necessary activities that will turn your vision into daily actions. Having a crystal clear vision reduces the firefighting and keeps everybody focused on what they need to do and when they need to do it. So here's a good visual representation of what your strategy deployment looks like. Start out with your top management goals and implement total communication. That means everyone needs to know what your top management goals are, and that helps you decide on what the relevant action items are and what people should be doing to help meet those goals. When everybody's clear about what they're supposed to be doing, that really builds an engaged workforce. And from there comes the accountability part. You assign everybody a KPI, and when you put all this together, this ultimate formula is for a good strategy deployment. So 5S is a method for keeping each work area organized, efficient, safe, and reliable. In proper order, the 5S's are sort, set, shine, standardize, and sustain. So a good 5S program is a foundation upon which everything else can be built. Now, process waste comes in many forms. It's not always the easiest to spot until you learn to recognize them. There are 8 common process wastes that will cost you a lot of extra money if you don't start to eliminate them. A good way to remember the 8 wastes is with the acronym downtime. Defects, overproduction, waiting, not using your employees' talents, travel, inventory, motion, and excess processing. Key performance indicators are measurements generally tied to individual departments. KPIs are accountability tools. Most of the time, you'll see KPIs displayed in Pareto or line and bar charts. They tell you if the performance of a certain area or department is reaching the expected goal set by the management team. Many companies fall short here because they are not measuring enough. Every individual should have a personal KPI so that he or she knows if they are meeting the goals. Okay, so Gimbal Walk, that's where your employees get to show off the great work they're doing for the company. A Gimbal Walk is top leadership and various managers that walk to the facility every day to see what's going on. This is an opportunity to celebrate new ideas and goal achievement and interact with the workforce to show them their hard work is important and appreciated. Employees will also have a chance to voice concerns they may have and explain any deficiencies that may have occurred. Okay, so theory of constraints focuses on finding the one area that's holding you back the most and fixing it. Then you look for the next one, and then the next, and then the next. And so you can see by this example that this widget line, the target is 100 units per day. Now, if you look at what all the different stations are capable of, you can see that the station D is only capable of doing 50. So that means that this entire line is only capable of doing 50 units per day. So with the theory of constraints, you would implement whatever you could to fix that station. Ignore everything else. Work on getting that station up to speed. And once you do, a new constraint will surface, and then that's where you focus your attentions on next. So there's a lot of different ways to solve problems in any organization, and there's a lot of formal problem-solving solutions out there. To name a few, you have A3, 8D, the 5 Whys, a 9-step program, and a fishbone diagram. All of them drive to the root cause, which is what you're looking for. What you need to find is a problem-solving technique that works well within your organization and use that consistently to get everybody on the same page. Practice solving problems with the same tools across the organization. Then you can stop being troubleshooters and start being problem solvers. Now, inherent in every process are the costs to produce, provide, or create that great product or service. Some of these things are value added in which the customer will be willing to pay for. Some of the things that you do because you need to do them, but they don't really add any value. If it's a step in your process is changing the fit, form, or function of something like painting or welding, assembling, or even drawing, those types of things, then it's value added. If it's moving or holding or waiting or transferring or inspecting or double checking and double checking, reworking, those types of things are non-value added. 95% of the things that you do are non-value added activities. Sure, you're not going to eliminate all of them at once, but your goal is to get those down as close to zero as possible. So they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, then a visual workplace is easily double that. You want to be able to run your business without words as much as possible. You want to put up signs and charts and other visual representations of information that allows folks to understand what's happening. You should be able to have a stranger come into your place of business, taken out to a work area, and within 5 minutes understand what's happening in that work area, or at least what's happening in the department. It's all done with visuals, visual control, visual reporting. Eliminate the words and make things visual. People understand because it's a natural instinct for them to understand by seeing the visuals. Process mapping is all about tracking what's going on. Map the different things that you're doing. Once you commit those steps to paper, the non-value add activities, the wasted processes, all the bottlenecks, everything will just become so apparent and clear. The 3 types of mapping that you're going to need are process and flow maps, spaghetti charts, and value stream maps or block diagrams. So the process maps and the spaghetti charts are really simple to learn, so you can start with those. After you get good at mastering these 10 steps, then you can start doing block diagrams and value stream maps. They're a little bit more difficult to build and a little bit more difficult to understand, but a great tool for representing what's actually happening in the workplace. So there you have it. The 10 steps that will build your organization into a thriving, energy-filled industry dominator. I made this introductory webinar shorter because there are so many details that go into each of these steps. I could not cover it all in a few minutes we had today. But I did want you to have the information that you need to move forward. The next webinar in the series goes into more detail on each of these points. It will be a little over an hour in length, so you can set aside the time you need and take it all in and take good notes. So watch your email for a schedule of when I will present these in-depth and detailed webinars, and you can pick a time that suits you best. And thanks for staying to the end, and as a free gift to you today, I want you to have the ebook that accompanies this information. Click the download button and you can download the PDF document safely. It's an easy read and will give you insights on how to apply this information. As always, if you're ready to jump deeper into some of this material, you can contact me via email and we'll set up an appointment to discuss your needs. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you on the other side.